Thank you for joining us for our first episode of WNCC Workout Wednesdays. On today's episode of WNCC Workout Wednesdays, we are featuring former Scottsbluff Bearcat and current Western Nebraska Cougar, Conner McCracken. Today we are going to put Conner through 5 body weight workouts. These body weight exercises will be great for kids of all ages, youth, high school, even college athletes. Doing exercise to control your body weight can be so great. Being able to have the strength to utilize and manipulate your own body weight is a huge advantage in almost every sport. The basketball skill that we work on today, after we put Conner through our body weight exercises, will be shooting. Conner McCracken has always been known as a shooter throughout his time in high school, even at his time at Western Nebraska. Before we ever do anything, we always want to get warmed up first. Making sure we get warmed up is going to prevent us from injuries, as well as get our mind and body ready to perform and compete at the highest level that we possibly can. The first bodyweight exercise that we're going to do are called lunges. This is going to help with the stability in some of our joints, like our knees and ankles. It's also going to force us to engage some of our explosive muscles that we need for sports. We want Conner to go slow with a good long step. He's going to keep his chest out and pointed at his target. We want his knee to gently touch the ground. The next exercise we're going to do, called body squats. What we want to focus on with our body squats, we want our feet to be about shoulder width apart, just outside of our hips. We want our feet to be pointed out at a slight angle. We don't want our feet pointed straight forward, and we definitely don't want them pointed in. If our feet are pointed too far forward or too far in, it will lead to us having bow-legged knees and not being able to effectively do a body squat. The next thing we want to focus on is having a Superman chest. We don't want to hunch over. We don't want to round our shoulders. We want to keep our chest out. If we had a logo on our chest, we want to show that thing off. Keep your shoulders back and your chest out. Next, we really want to drop our seat muscles. It can feel a little uncomfortable, especially if you've never done these before, so it's great to get started with no weight. This is going to help him work on those really explosive muscles that he uses to jump. As you can see, Conner is really dropping his seat muscles down extremely low. Lastly, what do we do with our hands since there's no weight for us to hold? Some people will teach to put your hands behind your head. Some will teach to cross your arms in front of you, put them on your shoulders. As you can see, Conner likes to keep his hands out in front in order to help him keep balance. As long as you're making sure that the rest of your mechanics are solid, do whatever is most comfortable to you with your hands. Next, we've got tuck jumps. This is a great exercise to work on some explosive jumping without needing items like a jump rope or other plyometric materials. We want to tuck our knees as high as we can up to our chest, and we want to try to land in the same place over and over again. For our push-ups today, we're going to start by putting Conner in a plank. So we're going to get Conner with his hands out and his feet up. What we really want to focus on is Conner having as straight of back as possible. What we don't want, Conner, show him a spaghetti noodle. Alright, we don't want to have that loop. We don't want to be so soft here in the back like a spaghetti noodle. Conner, show him a bridge. Right? We don't want to have that angle. We don't want to have that bridge here. Okay, Conner, let's get straight. What we really want to do here is have this perfect, straight plank, just like a piece of wood. What a plank can be so useful for is right now we're developing a lot of shoulder strength, making sure his shoulders are strong enough to hold up his body weight. Also, right now Conner's entire core needs to be engaged for him to maintain his body at this angle. So before we ever get into push-ups, we want to do some exercises like this to make sure that Conner's muscle and his body can support him doing push-ups. Now, Conner's actually going to get into his push-ups. What we really want is we want Conner's head and his eyes going forward, and we want to get his chest to try to make contact with the ground. While he's doing this, we want him to maintain that plank. We don't want him to get tired and turn into a spaghetti noodle, or get tired and start to bridge up. Let's see Conner do one nice and slow. Nice and slow, focus stays forward, chest touches the ground. He maintains a good plank angle. Good, Conner. Young boys and girls out there, doing these planks and these push-ups can be rather difficult and something your body might not be ready for. So what we're going to have Conner do is keep his knees down and show a plank. So Conner's able to get into the same angle, have that same solid plank, only now his knees are down. There's still the need for his core to be engaged. There's still the need for his shoulders to be strong enough to support this much of his body. Same thing if he wants to do these for push-ups. Instead of using his whole body all the way down to his toes, he's still going to get the same thing out of doing push-ups from his knees. This is a great way to start for beginners. The next exercise we're going to do is called Supermans. This is a great exercise for your core, both in your front and your back. This is something that Conner's done quite a bit as a high-level high jumper. Right? Great for your back flexibility and your back strength. The main things we want to focus on here is we want your arms out like Superman. Reach forward and reach high for the sky. Same thing with your legs. We want your legs out as far as we can back and up. Let's watch Conner demonstrate. Conner's down, legs come up, arms come up, trying to get these elbows above his ears. Good, Conner. Right now he's feeling a lot of pain right down here in his lower back, really strengthening that core area. You also notice how Conner held it for a good count, right about 2 or 3 seconds. Holding it for that couple seconds is doing a lot for building those back muscles. Today we're going to put Conner through shooting progression. This is something I learned as a young kid going to Northern State basketball camp, led by legendary coach Don Meyer. This shooting progression is going to help Conner dial in both his mental focus and his shooting mechanics, starting all the way from the basics, getting into live jump shooting. To start our shooting progression, first we need to get stretched. All the muscles that we use to shoot with, mainly our forearms, need to be as loose as possible, so we're extremely comfortable when we get to shooting the basketball. We want to put our hands down on the ground, lean forward, get a good stretch on the inside of your forearms. We can switch our hands around and lean backwards, as well as flip our hands the other way. Get them shaken out just so you feel nice, calm, and relaxed, and there's no stress or tension in any of the muscles that you need to shoot with. Now that we're laid down on our back, we need to make sure we're still shooting with proper mechanics. We want the bottom of our elbow firmly on the ground, with the inside of our elbow pushed up against our body. We then want our forearm to come up at a good 90-degree angle. Then we need to make sure our wrist is cocked back as far back as possible. We're able to do this from the stretching that we did to start this exercise. When we first start shooting with no basketball, the focus needs to be on your follow-through, imagining that the ball is going straight up and straight down with perfect rotation, perfect backspin. Next, we're going to add a basketball. So Conner's going to keep that same angle, elbow on the ground, elbow touching his body, trying to get as close to a 90-degree angle there as we can. Not always going to be perfect, but we want to strive to make it as perfect as we can every time, especially in warm-ups. The more perfect we are in warm-ups, the less degree of error we're going to have when things become live and we start playing live games. For these first 10 to get warmed up, We're not going to let Conner use his guide hand. We're going to make him focus only on his strong hand. The guide hand is only supposed to be there to guide the basketball. The next step here is naturally finding your pocket. So Conner's going to swing his shooting arm, and when he feels ready, we're just going to let that arm just lock right in naturally to his pocket. Everyone's pocket's going to be a little bit different. So this is your opportunity as you're getting warmed up here to loosen up, swing your arm a little bit, make sure your feet are at a comfortable distance, and you're just going to let your arm just naturally sit right into wherever your pocket is. Good. The next step is to add a basketball. We're going to have Conner by himself spin the ball, step into his shot, grab the ball, get it naturally to his pocket, and shoot it straight up and straight down, right to himself. Don't need a partner, don't need anything like that. Okay, another opportunity for Conner to focus on his pocket, focus on his mechanics, focus on his follow through, stay mentally dialed into his shot right here. Still able to do this by himself without a partner, and his focus right now is being as perfect as he possibly can. The next thing we're gonna have Conner do is called groove your shot. He's going to actually shoot the basketball with the goal of making a shot now in the hoop. Only gonna be about 2 or 3 feet away, and the focus once again is to be as perfect as possible. Not worried about his pace, not worrying about going too fast or rushing, not even necessarily concerned with making the shot, but we want to be as perfect as we can as we set our shot on the rim now. As soon as we're done grooving our shot, it's now time to start shooting the basketball at a live speed pace. We've done all the warming up, we've done the stretching, we've made sure our mechanics are as perfect as they can possibly be. So now it's time to start shooting at a game speed pace, but once again we're going to start from very close to the hoop. This drill is called 5-5-5. We've done it at camps before, we've taught it at different high schools, and it's something that we do with our basketball team literally almost every day. We do it at practice, we do it in individual skill work, and we encourage our guys to do it on their own. It's a very important drill. We're going to shoot 5 shots at a full speed pace with the same focus and the same mechanics that we would if we were shooting a 3-pointer. If we were trying to make a game-winning 3, what's the focus? What are the mechanics that we would utilize? We want to do the same thing from about 5 feet away. We're going to shoot 5 shots from there, and we're going to take a big step back. Shoot 5 more. Take a big step back. Shoot 5 more. We want to take 15 shots from the wing, 15 shots from the middle of the floor, and then 15 shots from the other wing. This is going to help us dial our shot in. In this type of training, what we are trying to accomplish is we want to shoot the basketball like a machine, but we still want to play the game like a human. Shooting like a machine, we are trying to do the same thing every single time at the same level. We want to shoot the basketball the exact same way, no matter where we're at on the floor, no matter what situation we're in the game. That's what this drill is trying to help us accomplish. Not all of us are lucky enough to have a partner to shoot with or to rebound for us. This is a way right here to do 5-5-5 all by yourself. If you've got a hoop in your front yard or you can utilize your driveway, this is how you could do 5-5-5 all by yourself. Continually finding new ways to be creative and get better. Now that we've properly warmed up, we've stretched, we've made sure that all of our shooting muscles feel loose and comfortable, we've locked in our shot mechanically by our various warm-up mechanisms, we've grooved our shot, and we've now shot full speed, making sure we've got perfect mechanics. Next, we need to keep going at full speed, but we need to start focusing on hitting back-to-back shots. Being able to hit shots consistently while still focusing on having great mechanics is going to help a lot with our confidence going forward into shooting in real games and real practices. Right now we want Conner to hit 2 in a row from every spot. He's not too far away from the basket, so he can still really focus on being perfect with his mechanics, but we're not going to let him move on until he starts hitting back-to-back shots. Now that Conner's warmed up and shooting game speed shots, making back-to-back shots, finding his consistency, we're now going to teach Conner a drill where he can shoot game speed shots while being on the move without a rebounder. All you kids out there with a driveway and a hoop, you can utilize things like this, finding creative ways to rebound for yourself.